Coming up in this episode of the KickCast, set up a Minecraft server without breaking a sweat, a suit that gets on and off with the zip, and hoverboards. That's right, Back to the Future got something right. So sit back and relax. It's time for the KickCast. Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of the KickCast, the podcast where we go out, find cool projects, and let you know if you need to backtrack or sack them. I am Ktdata, and joining me is a man who has so much talent, and it's not just him, his whole entire family has talent, is the one and only and father of Pocket Film Festival award-winning daughter, Drew Tyler. How are you doing today, my friend?
Very good, and thank you for that very warm welcome. It's true. I breed brilliance somehow. I'm thank you.
Yeah,
I don't know that I have that much talent, but I'm pretty excited that my little girl did well.
No, Drew, you have amazing talent, and that's why it fosters it. The apple does not fall far from the tree, and it's great because Drew doesn't mention this, but he likes to do these things called 48-hour film festivals.
Just finished one,
and usually the team that Drew's on, and much to Drew's help too, because he's an active hand in it. They usually win some kind of award during the event, and usually it's like the fan favorite and stuff too. So
that's why I'm kind of tired. I actually just got off of a 72-hour film festival this weekend. It's the international one. Every year it's been 48 hours, and this year they did 72. So this one they send you your genre and your line, your prop, your dialogue at like 7:00 via email, and then you do your whole weekend.
Oh man, that's insane, man.
That was crazy. Yeah. So we got dark comedy, which I was like, yes. And I was on the writing team. It was all my students. This was all my students.
Drew's the king of dark comedy, if you guys don't know.
It was hilarious. We sat there and we wrote really quickly that night, and we came up with a show that I'll share with you, that you can share with others as soon as we can publicize it. But it's called Hungry Hungry Hobos.
That explains a lot from all the photos that I've seen posted on Facebook.
And imagine sitting there and just enjoying, just nice chatting. And it was one of those times with writers, you're just like, ooh, what if we did this and then that? And we explored the story. And then I showed up really late to the Saturday shoot because, of course, I want to hang out with my family. So the kids, students, did all this awesome work. And then I showed up for the late night, kind of hoping that they'd have some of the elements we talked about. They pulled it off. I asked for me and the rest of the people writing on the team were like, well, what if we had barrel fires in the corner, and we created this arena out of barrel fires and cardboard, and we put round fruit in the middle, and then we had the hobos attacking the fruit, and they had it all, shopping carts and everything. Nothing got lost in and especially in the 48 hours, you go, oh well, we're not going to be able to pull that off this time, so let's just make what we have. You always make do.
Yeah.
This time I felt like everything we wanted happened. So I'm excited to share it with you.
I'm pretty sure you just showed up and said, all right, it's a wrap, and just walked home.
No, actually I got there, and the kid that had been doing, I say kids, these guys are like 20-somethings, they're not kids. The student had been doing the DPing for the early part of the day, left his camera, but he wasn't able to join. So I got to use his sweet C100 to shoot all night. All night long I shot on it. So I was like, because they're like, well, we could have so-and-so shoot, or, well, they're in the show, but they could shoot these scenes. And I was like, don't worry about it, guys. I'll take care of this, because I wanted to play on his camera.
How does a college student get a C100?
I know, right? I know. A couple of wedding videos here and there. He saved up for it, and man.
I don't even have a C100.
It shoots amazing in the dark. Like, we were shooting by firelight at the landfill at 10 o'clock at night, and it was spectacular. No noise. And I was ISO'd up to 3,500, 4,000 at some of them. It was just beautiful.
All right. If you guys are film videography nerds, you know why we're geeking out.
We're 10 minutes into the show. So, sorry.
It's what we do. It's honestly what we do. Drew and I talk about this, and then usually we do it in the Little Big Cast group chat.
Yeah, so sorry.
And then Jeff and Rachel just go, huh? All right, so Drew, before we actually jump into some of the projects, and trust me, these projects are so good. There was a whole bunch of other ones that didn't make it, and I'm kind of sad, but 3 slots on there. Let's cover some news. So, a couple episodes back, we mentioned that Indiegogo was starting this new kind of initiative where they were doing this forever funding.
Yes,
and
we talked about that.
Yeah, they decided to pick a bunch of projects that did really well to offer this to them as a pilot program. One of them was the AirTame project. Do you remember what the AirTame is? I don't remember if we covered it on the show, but I remember seeing it. So AirTame was this HDMI dongle that's almost kind of actually like the Chromecast and Amazon Fire TV now, but a little bit more full featured on there. they decided to switch to forever funding, and they actually started getting backlash from their funders on there.
Understandable, because then wouldn't they have to then, if they're continuing funding, don't they end up pushing their date back farther and farther, or is that just happened?
Well, no, that's one of the forever fundings is to help make it sustainable for the business, so they don't have to on there. And I don't think they did a really good job of talking about it and of telling people. And partially, one of the reasons is that they actually got their deadline pushed back 3 times now. They should be shipping sometime in November when they promised that was going to be shipped in July. And then they moved it to October, and then they moved it to November on there. So backers were like, well, we haven't even gotten to ours yet. So, what are they doing? So again, communication is always key when you're running these. I don't know. What do you think, Drew? Is this forever funding really going to work out well for some of these projects, especially if they have not delivered their items?
I was going to say, perhaps what it's going to take is a little bit more just transparency for the people that are trying out this forever funding idea, especially when it comes to delivery dates, because I think that's where people look like they're getting upset, is that they were promised one thing and getting another. If it's in the works and it's planned for and people are expecting things, I think they could probably do just fine with the forever funding idea. It seems like it's just a matter of letting people know that this is when it's going to be coming out, or we plan on doing a forever funding and you'll get your rewards at this point. But I think maybe it's just one of those hiccups. I think they'll find a way to smooth it over. It's a good idea. I think the overall idea of forever funding is fine.
And you know what? I just realized that I really haven't gotten all my stuff or anything really from my Indiegogo backed projects.
It is less dependable.
This may be a niche case, but thinking back now, the only one that actually has sort of delivered things, but they haven't delivered everything that I backed yet, is the Will Wheaton's tabletop season, and I'm still they're filming the season now, and I've gotten their back records of archives, but I still haven't got my loot crate that I backed on there. And I'm still waiting for the season, but the season's going to come out early next year. My lights have not been delivered.
That was a year plus more.
That's almost a year now. The power plug hasn't been delivered on there, and the Orgy movie's not done filming yet.
That's right. That's not.
They haven't even started yet. So, yeah.
The one that I'm was eager to get in the first place was the Thing Charger. Mm-hmm. And that one I funded almost a year ago last week.
Yeah, actually, I haven't gotten that one either.
So and I put like $70 or $80 into that one because I wanted to get as many, and they've been really good about keeping up with. The Thing Charger themselves have been almost overly active in emails and spam and saying, do more, share it again.
They've always been updating stuff. The funny thing is though that it's taken so long, and I actually paid extra to get the lightning connectors on mine.
Same, yep.
I don't have a lightning connector anymore.
You should probably send him an email.
But I'll give them the extra $8. But if anybody needs a Thing Charger lightning adapter, I'm gonna have a couple extras.
You'll have some extras. No, it's been a while. The other one was a tether cell, and I did end up getting that one probably about 6 months ago. But once I got it, tether cell was like this: you put a AAA inside of a AA size battery, and you could Bluetooth anything. So how
did that work?
I never came up with a good enough idea. Like, I thought it was such a great, brilliant idea, but when I got it home, I was like, what do I have that takes batteries that I want to be able to turn on and off with my phone? I haven't come up with it.
You know what you can do? Put it into your remote control that you give to the girls.
And then
when it's bedtime, turn off the battery power.
And just say, you know what? You don't get to choose anymore.
It's like, well, you're like, it's bedtime. Time to go to bed.
The remote doesn't even work anymore. No, my girls don't get to play with remotes. I don't watch TV, but no, I'll find something. Anyway, interesting. Right. Forever funding.
Yeah, so that's forever funding. Okay, and the next thing is, I know you know this, but I'm still going to ask you. Have you ever heard of this thing called Y Combinator?
Oh, yes, I know Y Combinator. It's a place where smart people go to get lots of money for their smart ideas.
Yep, and that's why Randall's gone through it twice. But so one of the partners at Y Combinator, so if you don't know what it is it's a venture capitalist school incubator type thing. So not only do they give you money for your business, they also help you develop it and come up with that and grow it and become something viable. Well, of course, that's it's not all for just happiness and giggles. They of course get part of your company on there. But so one of the partners, his name is Alexis Ohanian. Some of you guys may be familiar with one of his creations called Reddit. You know, it's kind of one of the big things on the websites these days. He was actually talking about how crowdfunding is actually making it a little bit difficult for investors now to kind of get investments into companies, because what happens is instead of them just going straight to the investor saying, hey, I have this idea, it's not proven or anything, they go in, hey, we have a test market, they responded well, and we're actually already making some money, so you should come invest in us. And it makes the negotiation a little bit harder because then the entrepreneur actually has more leverage versus going in with, hey, I just have this idea, I haven't really tested it in a mass market, and well, of course I'm not making any money, that's why I'm coming to you as an investor. So he actually mentioned that it actually makes it a lot harder for them sometimes. An example is the Pebble Watch. Remember, they raised $10 million. I still have mine on my wrist.
I love mine.
On there. And then 5 months later, they raised $15 million more on top of that. So think about that.
Interesting.
In 5 months. So what we need to do is jump onto the Randall's company, say, hey, you should put Vidpresso on Kickstarter. Just and make it blow up and make him raise millions off of that
and add to it.
And yeah, have him get more investors that way, right?
Yeah, he could do that.
Yeah, he probably could. This is Randall we're talking about. Genius guy on there. So this I wanted to bring this up because it makes a good point that don't make your Kickstarter as your end goal. Make it a stepping stone to help grow your business and work it out. You know, whether it be used for testing, whether it be to, you know, say, hey, this is viable. You should give me some capital and we can grow it a little bit more. Don't make it your end game. Always think of something after your project too and how you're going to do it after you've been successful. I honestly think if you do that, it actually helps you plan your project better. Because you're so focused on this big thing and you don't think past it. And sometimes that actually limits your train of thought when you're trying to plan all this stuff.
Agreed.
On there. So actually, to kind of go with that theme on there, as I need to close my Facebook Messenger, is that this next article that we have is interesting. And it's from the Denver Post, and it actually says crowdfunding, or Kickstarter in their case, it's not just about the money anymore. And you're like, what? Isn't that the whole point of Kickstarter?
What are they saying?
And what's becoming more interesting is a lot of more people are actually going to crowdfunding websites to use it kind of as a test bed for their market, to put it out there to see if people are responding to it and to get feedback from it. So they'll take it out, the project out there, and say, you know, and look for the feedback. If people don't like it, they'll kind of tweak ideas, and they'll also take feedback from the community on better ways to kind of make the project more appealing to people and more useful for people. An example of this is the Coolest. Remember, they broke the record for the most money raised on a Kickstarter project, but it was the second time around they went through. We covered it as a project in the first round when they weren't successful. And what did they do? They took the feedback, tweaked the project a little bit, tweaked the product a little bit, and brought it back, and it just landslide.
It boomed. And I agree with that. I wonder though. I don't know. I guess the money just seems like it's a really nice part of it, I guess. But you're right, it's not entirely about the money, I guess. Okay, Denver Post, you're right. We're trying to learn new things and grow and improve.
I mean, so, you know, even if your project's not successful, don't be depressed. Go back, look at it, and see, okay, what can we change? What did we learn? Did we get any feedback? What could we do better next time around? And use that as knowledge and keep going. And again, like I said, make sure Kickstarter's not your end goal. Make sure there's something after it, and it will help you in this case on there. So that is all we have for the news, other than if you have Apple Pay, this is for you Apple kids. If you're on Indiegogo, Apple Pay works on Indiegogo.
Interesting.
May your wallet be warned. Okay, so do you have kids? I don't know. Are your kids really big into Minecraft?
My 7-year-old, she doesn't know when to play with here at the house. Every once in a while she can for a day or two. But when we go up to see cousins, that they still play all the time. So she likes to get in on the older cousins' games. Yeah, so yeah, she plays.
Do they have their own server set up, or are they playing on a public server?
I don't remember. I think they mostly just kind of join in all on the same Wi-Fi network when they're up there, and just share each other's world, or they all join one world. I don't know how it works.
Okay. So one of the things is with Minecraft is that you can of course play individually. You're alone, but you can't really have people kind of join in. If I remember, I haven't played Minecraft in a while. That may have changed. But one of the more popular ways of doing is just setting up a server, a Minecraft server, where everybody can log in and things will be saved there. Plus, it reduces the trouble of if that one person who you're logging into, if they're not playing, they still
Right.
can play in stuff.
Right.
There. Now, Drew, do you know anything about setting up a Minecraft server?
No, I guess I could Google it, but yeah, I don't know. No.
I mean, because I've set up Minecraft servers before. It's fairly straightforward for me, but I've dealt with servers before. I'm more technically inclined. How would you feel?
I'd say.
Yeah, I mean, so how about this? What if you just got a device, needed to plug it in, hook it up to the Wi-Fi, and the server's all set up and ready to go for you?
Yeah, no, that would be easy pickings, especially if I had neighborhood kids or kids that would often play Minecraft. It'd be nice to be able to set something up that easy and know where they were playing.
Yeah, plus it's a private server because some of these public servers, you're going to get all these older gamers and like me, who has a mouth of a sailor, will just start dropping F-bombs in chat left and right.
That's why you never play with my kids.
Yes. I'm not allowed because I'm a bad influence.
That's right.
Uncle KT says words that you shouldn't say.
Dirty Uncle Ken.
That's what Drew tells everybody. On there. But this our first project of the night actually solves this. It's called MindBlock, and it is actually a device. It does exactly that. It is in a wood block. You just plug the power source in. It looks for your Wi-Fi network. If it finds a password protected Wi-Fi network and that doesn't work, it creates its own. Then you just put a device, hook up to the Wi-Fi network, enter in your Wi-Fi network's password, and then it will restart the device. It will join your existing Wi-Fi network,
Nice.
And done. Your Minecraft server ready to go.
It's beautiful. I really like that clean look with the little glowy square on it.
Yeah, and what's nice about it is it's fully upgradable too, because what's powering this is actually just a Raspberry Pi Model B, and it's the upgraded version on there. And it's tiny. It's 4 inches by 4 inches by 2 inches. I mean, you could stick that in a corner somewhere as long as it has power on there, and you're ready to go. It is also, since it is a Raspberry Pi, it's customizable. You can actually go in and change all the settings on there. The one thing that I don't know quite yet, it uses a custom OS for this. The one thing I don't know is if you can actually go in and add in mods and stuff. I assume you probably can't because it's just a normal Raspberry Pi Minecraft install, as far as I know, on there. And bam, good to go. They've turned a server into an appliance. Don't have to worry about VPSs. Don't have to worry about command lines, securing it and stuff, because you can control it. There are advanced settings. So if you want to share the server over IP and stuff, so say your girls were, on your cousin's family server on there, and then you leave. Of course, you're not on the same Wi-Fi network. They could set it so she could log in over the internet and they can play together right there.
So that would totally be worth it, because then anytime they wanted to get together and play, because like 5 of the cousins live in one city and we're the only ones that are far away. She would love that. She's too young still, so I won't let her obsess with that yet. But what a great idea! No,
I love it. It's fully set up, and the cost is actually fairly reasonable for what he's charging, or what he's trying to do. Because I did the conversion for the early bird. It's about $110 US on there. That's not that much, because if you consider the Raspberry Pi, that's $25, $30 if I remember right.
Yeah, 30
on
plus,
there. The micro SD card, that's another $10 or so. The Wi-Fi dongle, another like $3 to $5 on there. And then the wood blocking. I don't know.
Yeah, it's good looking.
Yeah, I don't know any woodworking, but hey, you're paying for that, and you're also paying for his custom made OS on there, which is another thing.
Yeah, that's not a bad price.
Time's money, man. I appreciate him putting it together, and like the way the interfaces look and everything. He's made it pretty streamlined and slick. So worth every penny on that.
I hope it sees some more action. I mean, currently it's sitting there with 10 backers. It's only been up for a day.
Yeah, it's barely recently launched. It barely launched the 27th.
Yeah, just yesterday it came up. So I hope it sees some action. It's not bad to raise nearly $1,000 in a day. They're hoping for 50 grand. So we've got a pretty big road to hoe. Yeah.
So, as a parent, would you do this?
I would. I mean, this solves a lot of those questionable problems about opening up, or putting it on public servers. I know that she's going to continue to want to play. Mm-hmm. My kids have to earn their tech time, like anything that they get a certain amount per day. because it's funny, working in mass media, I know how much it'll rot your brain. So this is something I think she would love to do, years down the road. And when she gets, if I just open up the internet, I'm a little wary of that as well. So this seems like it would solve a lot of good problems and keep her connected to people I know.
You could be like a super dad, and
right?
She can go to school. Like, my dad set up a Minecraft server.
That's all play.
And you're like, yeah. All you really did was plug it in and enter in your Wi-Fi password.
I love it. Come on over. No, I do. I want to be that super cool dad. I want everybody to come over to my house and play because then I know where they're at. Yeah. Yep. Love it.
So is this backtrack or sack for you?
I'll back it. I totally would back this one, and I hope to see it fly.
Yeah, this one's a back. I think I honestly am going to get one of these on there. And I also love that he has a level where you can just get the SD card with the OS installed on it. So if you already have a Raspberry Pi, just order that. And if you don't want the fancy enclosure on that, you order that, pop in the SD card into your existing Raspberry Pi, boom, done.
So pretty.
I mean, I love it. It's elegant. It's nice. And yeah, now I run into the issue, do I get green, black, or red?
And for you, that is the hardest issue.
That is the hardest issue.
And you know what? If he had a collector's edition, I think it'd probably already be in your cart.
I'd be like, oh yeah, I backed that a long time ago. But yeah, that's a back for me on there. And that, is the mind block. Great idea. All right, so that's kind of solved your one problem. Now you don't have to worry about setting up a Minecraft server. So
easy peasy.
Now, when the cousins come and visit you on there, you want to look nice, right?
Oh, yeah. I need to look the best I can look every day, really.
Yeah, but it's trouble, finding, ironing your shirts, getting everything out. I don't
even own an iron.
If there was only a solution, right?
I wish somebody would come up with a suit that I could wear anytime. And wouldn't have to iron it, wouldn't have to dry clean it. I just would just zip it up and walk out like I walk out in my pajamas. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
This next project is pretty darn cool. This is from the crowdfunding site for apparel called Beta Brand. And we covered, I believe we did the sweatpants, suit pants. Did we do those? I think we talked about Beta Brand itself in one of the news items.
Yes.
But not too long ago, they came up with this idea for a pair of suit pants that look like sweatpants and they look like suit pants, feel like sweatpants, and they're very comfortable and you could feel like you're lounging all day, but still look like you're super legit. This blows me away, and I love the video they made for it. Production quality is questionable, but they made this video for what they call the Suitsy. The Suitsy is a onesie. It's a onesie for men. Do you have a picture of this thing? Because it kills me. It's so wonderful. Here. Look at this guy. He looks like Bond, right? I mean, he looks sharp. Does not come with a tie. That's not included. But if you look at that...
Doesn't come with a car either. I wouldn't mind
right. If you look at that, he unbuttons the jacket. It's attached to the shirt inside, and then you unzip from behind the buttons. And I used to have shirts like this that were like old policeman shirts that there's a zipper hidden behind the faux buttons. Anyway, you zip all the way down through the crotch, and you peel it off like a onesie. So I think this is pretty amazing. The Suitsy also has adjustable false shirt cuffs, so you can pull the cuff, the shirt cuff, which I always have a problem with that. Like, how long is too long? But you can actually adjust where the shirt cuff comes outside of the suit coat. It's got venting in the jacket so you don't get too hot in there. You've got these little vent spots. It's got a double zipper down by the crotch so that you can get your business done in the front end by, without zipping from the neck down, which, onesies. The one question that I have, the video is hilarious. You going to play some of that? Yeah. So watch this guy zip this thing down.
Right here. Yeah. I love how he gets his wife or
wives. There's two ladies there that totally zip him down. And then they just peel it off like a banana, and he's like, guys, this is awesome. Anyway, I know that the marketing style here, they tried to do something that was kind of like poopery or like Dollar Shave Club. It kind of had that feel, but didn't quite go far enough to deliver. But aside from the production value, the idea is brilliant. The way it works at Beta Brand is that they put the item out there, they talk about it, they get the funding behind it. If it hits a certain amount, it will go into production and you'll get your copy. So right now they're about halfway there. They've got another 2 weeks or so to find enough people to get on board with this. The way they also do it, I believe, is the first, depending on how big the run is or how many they plan on doing, the first 25 are 30% off, and then they do another 100 that are 25% off, and then another however many 150 or so.
It's the reverse of
Some
mass
more.
drop on there, because you know,
Right.
you know how mass drop works is the more people you get, the price goes down. So this is the
The
opposite.
earlier you get in, the price goes down, and so now it's at 20% off, and they'll keep selling it until they meet their goal. But if they don't meet their goal, they don't make it. It doesn't happen. But for me, in the crowdfunding world, I thought this was not only unique, but solves a lot of problems. I'm still curious about one thing, though. He says it in the video, but he talks about that you can go number 2. He's like, and how do you go number 2? I'm doing it right now. And he's sitting fully suited and, lounged into the back corner of some room. But I just have to wonder how that happens. I mean, a trap door seems ridiculous at this age, but perhaps they found a very cool way to put a trap door into.
Maybe the jacket's covering the trap door and you can't even
It's
see
very
it.
possible. It's very possible. I've looked at all the pictures and tried to find where's the poop
We
hole.
need to know
But I'm not seeing it.
on there. And D-Max does he says if you do get a stain on it, it's gonna get ruined, right? Wrong. Machine washable and
Machine
wrinkle
washable.
resistant on there.
Yeah, it's like sweatpants. Yep.
Yeah. The only thing I'm a little worried about is, does he have more than one style? Because you're going to be that guy where everybody's like, Drew doesn't like change his suit. He wears it.
Because he wears it every day or every other day. No, it's probably true. I don't know if there's another style. I think there is the only one for now. It's a two button. But this is a prototype, and if it gets funded, maybe they will see more. I'm still looking for that trap door. I'm like staring at this guy's butt.
I gotta know.
Anyway, that is my project, and I think that for me, that's a back. I don't have, what is it? It's like $300 at this point. I don't have that much to throw down on a suit, period, let alone a sweatsuit. But
Yeah,
concept-wise, idea-wise.
Yeah, one of my nice suits cost about that, and that was on sale. So if you put that into perspective, it's not that much.
The comfort of this thing, the comfort. Yeah. I could just hang out in sweatpants all day. It's worth something. So for me, that's a back.
All right. Yeah, for me, it's a track just because I really, it's going to be awkward when you and I show up to some kind of nice gala and we're wearing the exact same thing. I'm just I'm just going to say that's going to be a little awkward.
And then we're going to have to choreograph a trapdoor dance. Dun, 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 zip, 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 zip.
I'm just going to be like, you need to go to the bathroom? Yeah.
Yeah. Solid.
On there. So, but no, it's a track for me just because, one, I already have a lot of suits. The day job requires it. So
That's true.
on
That's
there.
true.
But if I was in for a suit, I might, just get that. I'd love it. All right. Yeah, Winston's good. Like, hey, let me hang your jacket.
No, you can't. Really, I can't take it off.
That would be interesting. All right. So now we've kind of covered 2 good projects. Do you must have seen Back to the Future. You probably even saw it when it came out, right?
I did. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
So, remember in Back to the Future 2 when Marty McFly goes into the future? Marty!
Yes. I remember it very well.
He goes into the year October 21st, 2015, right?
Correct.
On there, and we're only a year away from that, actually. A year, less than a year now on that. So remember what it looked like. It looked something like this, right? On there. So in 1 year, we're going to be dressing like that.
Yes, I'm ready for that. I'm already there. Yeah.
So I'm like, there's one thing in this picture that actually is pretty true.
Is it funny that Asian is that an Asian man or the flag? It looks like the Japanese flag.
Yeah,
on the bottom of his board. It's fantastic.
So you would think it might be the clothing that's more realistic that's going to come true. Mm-hmm. Wrong. What I'm going to tell you is going to blow your mind. Those hoverboards that are actually that they're holding in their hands, that by October 21st, 2015, will actually be possibly a real thing.
I don't know, man. People have been talking about the hoverboard since the movie. Like everybody demands having a hoverboard. In fact, that's the excuse they use when something comes out that's cool but not a hoverboard. They're like, yeah, but we should have hoverboards by now.
Yeah. But we will soon. And our next project is actually called Hendo Hoverboards. And that is right. I am not joshing you. This is an actual hoverboard on there. Okay, so granted that it's not going to hover over everything right now. It's only going to hover over non-ferromagnetic materials or conductors. So, like aluminum and stuff, common things out there. But it's a hoverboard. It floats 1 inch above the ground and you can ride it. There's no friction and stuff. They show pictures of the people riding it. And they're even planning, since it needs a non-ferromagnetic conductor on there, they're actually designing a skate park where you can ride it on there. And yeah, I'm not kidding you. This is actually a real thing. And real journalists have actually ridden on this hoverboard. So
real sites have actually covered this.
Yes, on there. So it's an actual thing on there. But of course, they're still working on the hoverboard portion, and they did a genius idea. I love this idea. I call it the Oculus Rift idea. Is that they of course are offering the hoverboards, and those are actually already backed. They offered 10 of them for $10,000.
10,000 a piece. That blows my mind. But they did it.
And notice their party is actually on October 21st, 2015. Just saying.
Is it really?
Yes.
Oh, wow. Brilliant.
It says it right here. You will be presented the hoverboard at our 10/21/2015 event on there.
Brilliant.
So they planned for it. But they're also offering these dev kits that you can get that are 10 by 10 by 5 inches. So it's a box and it floats about 1/4 to 1/2 inch off the ground. And what they want to do is with these dev kits, just like with Oculus Rift, is get them into the hands of creators, thinkers, and see what they can do with this development kit. And, find other alternatives. I mean, of course, hover technology is cool, but we probably can make it for other uses too. I mean, imagine this is making us closer to having hover cars.
It's true. The roads will be paved with aluminum foil. It'd be easy.
Yeah. On there. So, I mean, I love this idea. I love how they're making a skate park. That's so awesome. They actually,
what a great way to make your reward tier, more tangible. I know that it's pretty ambitious probably, but the way that they're designing this, they need to have a place to, try it out and do things with it. But I think that's what I loved about it was that something like this, you put some money into it to help them, support them, and they were going to give you T-shirts, stickers, and what else. But for me, that's what I loved about it was the tiers that they listed were things like we will put a plaque in, like a little placard in the skate park for you.
Yeah.
We'll send you the developer kit. We'll give you a mini hoverboard that's not hovering on the same technology, but it'll at least sit on your desk. I think
I kind of wanted a desk
awesome.
toy just so it'd be like, yeah, I helped make a hoverboard.
Yeah, the rewards are awesome. They really did a great job.
And also, there's actually 2 versions of the developer kit, which they call the white box because it's a white box. They have the normal white box, and then they have the white box plus. Which remember my theory about Kickstarter projects, right? How you think of a Kickstarter project, just
and
add Bluetooth to it, right?
Yes.
So the white box plus is actually controlled by a smartphone, so you can move it around.
Oh.
So.
Oh,
I think this is cool.
Wow, I did not find that.
Yeah,
that's fantastic.
It's here. I'll show you on screen right here. You can see that there's a demo of their thing where there's a phone right there and it's controlling the devices.
That's White Box Plus.
Yeah, that's White Box Plus, and there's the joystick control
something. Oh, that's cool.
on there. And so, imagine putting it on. They show the example of putting it on a Lego ship and making the ship go around.
Yes, what a great, fantastic idea! Wow, I really like that idea. And I'm with you. I mean, having the dev kit is going to give you that ability to explore ideas and methods and how to deliver different payloads and designs. This is really wow. This is exciting. The park when it gets built looks amazing.
Yeah.
Too.
And of course they've already funded, but I think it's still a back for me, man. This is what. What about you, Drew? Is this back?
Yeah, it's absolutely a back. I'm currently strapped, obviously, so I would be in the give me a sticker and a magnet kind of a backing. But the fact that they're already backed, I mean, they've already funded. They've got another 6 weeks to go on this. I think they may very well be in the running for one of those ginormous, coolest type of top 10 seats. They're already more than $250,000 down. They've got another 6 weeks to go. There's a lot of things going for them. People since that movie have wanted a hoverboard, and to make it, to see that it's real and it's going to happen or it is happening. I think you're going to see a whole lot of action on this one. Bye.
Yes, this one is, totally. I mean, Rev's like, yeah, he built that in his garage when he was 13. I mean, but part of it is they solved the propulsion. The reason why it's a little bit harder to do this is because you're not using air or anything. You're actually using magnetism. The problem with magnetism is that it's really hard to actually do that. They actually go into
They
a
explained it pretty well.
explanation on here, and I can't find it, so I don't make myself sound like a fool.
Well, they did explain like the different styles of polarizing and opposites. It's clear down at the bottom. They talk about the two different laws that explain how eddies happen and currents happen when magnets move relative to a conductive material. And so I enjoyed that. They talk about magnetic field architecture, things I don't understand, but they explained it pretty well. So they're just saying that this is kind of like this broad implementation is changing. Yeah. It was.
It's harder than you think to kind of build one of these things. So I mean, I love it. It's a hoverboard, and now all we have to do is Drew. Or I mean, we got to start getting these clothes. I mean, I don't. How do I get that little like headpiece thing?
What is that? Like a skull cap?
Yeah. I gotta get one of those, and I gotta grow out a goatee and dye it orange.
Oh my God, that is so funny. Yes, indeed. You do that, and I will join you with some sort of fancy outfit.
We'll be all that. I mean, we got less than a year to get this all down. Remember.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm excited for that. And unfortunately, that is the last of our projects tonight.
We went super long.
Not really.
Good. No, not too long.
I started this 10 minutes into the
it's not bad. Not bad. Then we're on time.
We're on time. On there. So if you have any cool projects like any of these that we featured today, I mean, there was a whole bunch of them that I couldn't put out there, and I have a feeling I'm going to be backing a whole bunch of them too. Let us know. Send us an email, kickcast@ktdata.net. Send us an email there, or you can leave us a message on our Facebook, facebook.com/kickcast, or on Twitter @kickcast, or @night20 for Drew, or @ktdata for me. We answer to all of those on there. Or if you like the Google Plus, and who doesn't love the Google Plus, plus.kickcast.net, redirect you over there. And if you want to watch live, just like all these people who are watching us live right now, you can see we respond on there. You can actually find us at live.kickcast.net. Every Tuesday, I am usually recording something. It might not be the KickCast, but it's usually something on Tuesday. You can actually see lovely cousin Jane on the other Tuesdays.
Got a good show going on there.
Congrats to her. She's been doing this for 7 years now. 7 years straight streaming on there. And you can find that there. Our next live show, if you really want to see us, is going to be November something.
10 or 11.
11. Yeah. November 11th. Thanksgiving is coming. Halloween is almost past for us there. So we will see you then. Drew, you got anything to plug before we go?
I'm hoping on that show that we could get a guest, I know a project creator that's launching a book that'd be kind of fun to talk to him about his process. So that's my hope. But other than that, you can always follow me doing little big cast things for video games, and at Night 20 if you want all of my, silly movie talk.
Oh, that are awesome. I mean, you're doing yourself a disservice if you're not following Drew on Twitter.
That's right.
All right, guys. We will see you in 2 weeks. Bye-bye.
See ya. Bye.
Excellent.